I thank all the panelists. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes for questions. The violence that took place at Club Q follows years of long efforts by some state lawmakers to erase LGBTQ plus people from school curriculum, limit their access to health care, and undermine their ability to fully participate in society. Now, state lawmakers are not alone. There have been many actions here in Congress pushing the same kind of draconian extremist policies. For example, more than 30 House Republicans introduced their own version of Florida's Don't Say Gay or Trans, end quote, law, which would restrict federal funding for schools that include LGBTQI plus people in their curriculum. I'd like to ask Ms. Robinson, how would a federal policy suppressing even mentioning of LGBTQI plus people in classrooms further undermine the ability of LGBTQI Americans to live authentically and safely? Ms. Robinson.
Thank you for the question, and it's so critically important. What we teach our kids matters. We're teaching curriculum that not only shows them who our history is and what we can be in the future, but also what we value, who matters, who deserves dignity and respect. If we erase LGBTQ plus people from the curriculum, it erases the value in our lives. As Brandon said, this is our opportunity to be better, and we can do that, and it starts with how we educate our children. And I also want to be clear that when we allow these pieces of legislation to move forward that erase our communities, that dehumanize us, what it does is create a dangerous environment that does support and feed these seeds of hatred that exist in our world. It's not only dangerous, it's violent to our people.
Thank you. Ms. Peacock, what would a federal Don't Say Gay or Trans law mean for the LGBTQ1 youth navigating their identities and communities across the country, from your experience?
Yes, we worked really hard on a similar Don't Say Gay bill that was being proposed in our state. And the truth is that we all need mentors and examples that we can grow into and see ourselves in. And when we as a nation are hiding our faces or our experiences or our contributions to this nation, it really impacts young people and their ability to see others like them and their ability to learn how we've contributed to this nation. But more than that, it's erasure and it hurts. And so our young people tell us that what they see and hear and feel when school board members or politicians are advocating to erase them is that they feel like they don't belong. They feel like their public schools are not for them. And so it is so critically important that we are always cheering these young people on. And one real simple way to do that is to give them access to folks like me and those of us on the panel who are LGBTQ and contributing incredible human beings in this world, because they can be too. They just need us to support them and show them how.
Thank you. Following the enactment of Florida's Don't Say Gay or Trans law, anti-LGBTQI plus rhetoric on social media surged by more than 400%, astonishingly. Dr. Meyer, what is the relationship between this surge in anti-LGBTQI plus rhetoric and the kind of violence that took place at Club Q last month?
I think, as was mentioned already in the panel, this kind of incitement encourages people to enact what they think is righteous because of religious convictions and other types of ideologies that are portrayed on social media wrongly. And clearly, this is creating an environment where such violence is seen as not only acceptable, but, as I said, righteous and desirable, causing LGBT people a lot of harm, not only in the those of them who actually experience violence, but also everybody in the community who witnesses it.
Well, my time has expired, but as Democrats, okay, I will come back at the end with more questions. Well, as Democrats, we have pushed for policies to protect and advance the health, safety, and rights of LGBTQ people. My time is up, and I will ask more questions on the second round, but now to Mrs.